To explain about the third way of creating an object, that is object.create function. Before I explain about object.create function, I want to explain about prototype. So what is a prototype? Every JavaScript objects inherit the properties of another object known as its prototype. Let me explain you what it is. um, let's go to teaching.js. Let's comment this all. um, okay. Let's comment it all. Like, let's explain that where person equal to object. Like, now I created an empty object, right? But if you see this person, we got an object. But I just want to let you know that, did you observe or not, we see something called proto, and it also an object. And if you go inside it, there are some methods like constructor, has own property. There are some methods over there to string value of. So what it is, basically every object has a prototype object, like you can say as secondary object uh, to an object. Like, if you see here, this is the secondary object, and whatever you defined over here, like whatever the properties you defined here, the first object can inheritance. Let me tell you, let me give you an example. Now, basically how you define properties in this prototype object is, basically you define by object dot prototype. So the, if you want to define something, some property to the secondary object, you define with the help of object dot prototype uh, dot first name. Okay, first name equal to uh, John. Okay, now what will happen is, like, what is this first name is going to be in prototype object, like, or else a secondary object. Let me show you that. So now we got a person, and person is an empty object, but we define the first name, right? Where is that first name? um, so let's get into this. We, as I said, it is going to be defined in the secondary object, which is a prototype. You see here, first name is defined, and the first object, like this main object, can inherit his first name. Let me show you, like, how we will access the uh, properties over there with the help of dot, right? Dot or square bracket, right? So first name, uh, we know that person is an empty object, but I am defining dot first name into that. Let's see what will happen. Person dot first name. See, I got the John, even though it is defined in the secondary object. This is what I want to tell you guys. So even you define in the secondary objects, whatever the properties you define, the first object can inheritance or can have the access to get the properties from the secondary object or a prototype. um, so yeah, that's the one thing. As I said, there is something called prototype in chain. Like, let's say that we can also create an object with the help of new keyword, right? um, for the new keyword also, where person equal to, let me comment this too also, uh, new object, right? It is undefined because first name is not yet defined yet, right? So it's the same thing. You will have the prototype object with, even if you create with the secondary, sorry, with the new keyword, and even you define person dot first name to this with the help of object dot prototype dot first name, sorry guys, dot first name equal to John, right? uh, so the same thing happens, like the first name is going to be available in the prototype object or the secondary object. um, but there is something called prototype chain. Let me explain you what it is now. p- where person equal new object is creating an empty object, but let me give you an array which is a constructor, which we are invoking a constructor function. This thing uh, also has a secondary object. Like if you see, proto has an all the methods which are related to array, like you we will get to know concat, every, fill, filter, find index, these all related to array methods. These all are array methods. But in this type, like whatever the inbuilt um, objects are already, or like array or else date, there will be a secondary prototype. Like this is the first proto, right? If you go into deep into that, you see secondary prototype. What is this? This prototype is basically, you call as a prototype chain. Like how you, as I said, like we can define the properties over there. So how you access this proto, which is the first one, with the help of the constructor's name, like array dot prototype dot first name. Okay. Mm, now this first name is going to store or available in the first prototype, first name equal to John. But every object, most all the objects have an access to object dot prototype. So let's define that object dot prototype also. Object dot prototype dot last name equal to David, John David. Okay. Okay. Now I define the last name to the David. So as it is a constructor, this array has you can define with the help of array dot prototype and object dot prototype. But the way it is going to define, like the way it is going to store, we can say store, is different way. Like now let's see the person is still empty. I just want to tell you one thing I forgot to say. In JavaScript, everything is an object, array, function, whatever it is, except like booleans or undefined, or else string, symbol. Except these things, everything is an object. That's why array is a type of an object. Like if you uh, type of person, right, which we defined an array in that, you will get as an object here. So basically that array or functions or date, everything is an object. That's the reason uh, we have this prototype for the array. uh, just want to make you clear about this. um, so what happened, so I defined this, right? First name John David. Let's reload it. Let's see. So there are first prototype which has first name as John. Where is the last name? That is called prototype chain. Like this last name is as you define with the object dot prototype. You see, it is kind of a array dot prototype. This is object dot prototype, and if you see, last name is available over here. So whatever the inbuilt objects, these are by JavaScript inbuilt, right? So it has some methods already defined. So it has two, you can access prototype with the help of array dot prototype or object dot prototype. That's the reason. But when you access this, what you define here, where let's change it, array, right? Array equal new array, which creates an empty array. um, but this array dot first name, right? And array dot last name. Why I am missing this array? Yeah, okay. So now I just defined, I am not accessing this with the help of prototype dot first name. There is no need. Like if you define array dot first name, you will get the objects. Array dot last name, you will get the value of that. Let's save it and let's see. First name is John, last name is David. But if you see, this first name and last name are stored in a different prototype chain. Like the first name is saved in array prototype, last name is saved in object.prototype. Yeah. So but you can access them with the help of just with the properties name, this thing, and I will explain more about this in the further classes. But I just want to let you know this thing before, because object.create is somewhat related to this. Let's get into the object.create. So as I said, object.create is also will create a empty object, or uh, empty object, or it creates an object basically. So where person equal to object dot create, it takes two arguments. The first argument is just whatever you define, like an object x equal to first name John, last name David. Okay. The first argument takes any object over here, and now whatever you defined here, it is going to available in the prototype object, not in the first object, or it is available in the secondary object. Let's see that. Let's me console that. So now if you see, person is an empty object, but we define first name and last name, right? Where they went, see, it is still empty. These first name and last name are stored in the over here in the secondary object. You got it, right? So object.create is kind of little bit different compared to new and just only uh, literals, flower brackets, which creates an empty object. But like how to create an empty object, like as I said that, right? It takes first you have to give an uh, first argument compulsory, but I just need an empty object. I don't want to define any properties into that. But how do we get that? Yes, we can do that. It is kind of little bit different. Like instead of passing this first name and last name, argument is necessary. The first argument, look, I will pass object dot prototype. um, so this is going to define an empty object, and you see it is same as defining with the help of flower brackets, or with the help of new keyword, new object. So where person equal to object dot create is same as defining with these things. There is another way, like let's say uh, I pass instead of object.prototype, I pass null. So what will happen here is it also create an empty object, but it doesn't have any access to the prototype, or uh, what you can't define anything into the properties. If you see, we didn't have any properties into this, like a prototype object is not even though, like whenever you create an empty object, it has some basic methods into the prototype, right? Like constructor, to string, to value, those things also we can't access here. That's the difference between passing a null or object dot uh, prototype. Okay. uh, Object dot prototype, that's it. Yeah, so how it is helpful, how it is going to be useful, right? How it is, sorry guys, how it is going to be useful. uh, Let me tell you this. um, Whenever you define it, it creating a new object with whatever the properties you define, whatever the object you declared into the object that create as a first argument, it is going to be available in the prototype, right? So this is one which helpful. Like, let's say I have library file. Let me, as I said, like, let's think app.js is a library file which has an app test x, and x dot I just define something like I am thinking that x is an object, and in that object I am defining x dot phi as a test2, and I am just console logging that x. What you will understand basically in this, if you look at this function, we will know that x is an object. So in that we are just defining a property which is a y, which is equal to a test2 value, right? So as you know, like, I declared app.js, teaching.js into this. So even though they are different file, this app.js function, whatever defined in, if is JavaScript understand that it is both files are one file. Like, if you see, like, as I said, right, it is a one file means how the JavaScript. If it is one file, like, this function will be available over here. JavaScript thinks like that. This app test is within this file. If you define in such a way, like app.js and next the teaching.js, whatever the functions you define in the app.js will be in the starting, and the in the teaching.js will be the next, whatever the function defined in teaching.js will be after the app.js functions. You got it, right? So I can access it directly. There is no need to some like a library. If you're using any library, there is an object name, right? You define with object dot something, but here you can use it directly, app test. So let me uncomment this and remove these things. Just a second, I just want to uncomment this thing. So I define person, which I don't want. Like, any library should not touch this properties, like to add any new properties. This should be like whatever different properties, no more other properties should be added in this. But when you pass, like, I'm app test and I'm passing person to this, okay? So what happens is, like, if you see person.js, I'm passing person into this, and person.y equal to test2 is defining that, and this y is going to add within this person. Let's look into this. Console.log person. Now if you look into this, like, I define the uh, x, right? You understand, right? Like, as I define app.this person, it calls this function, it prints this x first, and then come to this console log. That's the way how JavaScript runs basically. So now as we define x, we say first x, it has all the properties which we defined in the person, address, age, text, and we just assigned a y to that person object, right? So y equal to test2 is there. As I said, by person should not change, but as you pass a person to that, it is also affected. Like basically, it is adding the y function to this, which I don't want. My person should be like whatever the defined properties already there. I don't want any extra properties to add or delete my existing properties. Like some way, some libraries have those functionalities so that it can override. So that's where object.create comes here. So instead of passing person directly to that, I will pass this person to object.create. So can you guess what happens here, my friends? Uh, Basically, as you define person into object.create, whatever the it creates a new object. It is not going to touch this object. It is going to create a new object with whatever the properties over here are going to be defined in the secondary object. And as you defined person.y, this y is going to be available in the first object. If you define by person.prototype.y, then it is going to be available in the secondary object, which is a prototype object. So let's see this. Uh, so x has a y object, sorry, y property, but there are no first name, last name. Why? Because those are defined in the prototype as you passed object.create person into this, and there is no y into here as y is defined over here. And person is as same as whatever I defined into this. There y is not added into this. Yeah, hope you understand, guys. This is what how we create with object.create. um, if you if you want to know about other way of creation like new keyword object.literals, these are in my previous class. Please watch it if you want anything about this new keyword and object.literals.